Alrighty, so Thonar has just come out and she is like god tier support for the new Bellmoth raid. So really quickly, I want to run in and do a regular one how I have normally been doing it with a guy that I regularly do Bellmoth raids with. So we're going to be doing Hell Bellmoth without Thonar, and then I want to compare it to a run with Thonar. He has already tested her quite a bit, and he said that she is really, really good so far. And I think that people are going to be able to pull off consistent like 3-turn Bellmoth raids, which is pretty insane because like we've been doing kind of like the normal run where you just kind of move around Hellbrim cards during the first turn, which is kind of, you know, it just takes a little bit of time. You have to kind of build up on the first turn and then you kind of go into it with big damage afterwards, which is fine. Like it works out, it does its job, but it just, I don't know, it can be very, I don't know, just tedious. Like it just takes a lot longer, which isn't like to say a bad thing. Like as long as it's consistent, it's pretty good, which for the most part this team is consistent. We do have a run every now and then where we just get really bad RNG and it kind of screws the run up, but for the most part we don't have any issues running this raid at all. Like we run it, you know, 6 times in a row, and then, you know, maybe 1 out of those 6 is a wipe, but most of the time there's no wipes at all. So I would say that for the most part we have it kind of down pat, so I'm really interested to see how the Thonar, you know, sort of, you know, ties into the whole thing. He said that I might have to change my team up just a little bit, but if it's as consistent as this team is, then I'm really going to have no issues at all. So, I mean, we literally have this one down to a science. We literally run this one pretty much all the time whenever I need cores and stuff like that. So, you know, it is what it is. So, I mean, if you don't know how this team works, if you've been using a different team, or maybe you don't do Bellmoth raids, maybe you're newer to the game, it's pretty simple. You basically stall for the first 2 turns because you can't rank up. Once you can rank up, both of you kind of rank up your cards and everything like that, and then you use Hellbrim's ultimate to stance disable, so that way he can't reflect damage on you, and then the other person uses their Jericho ultimate to wipe first turn, and then on the second turn his Danafor Liz is so good, like absolutely top tier. It kills me that mine isn't nearly as good as his is. But he's going to use a couple of his cards. Like you can see, this card is the best card. He does like 186k damage just on a Danafor Liz card, which I never thought would be possible, just because Danafor Liz doesn't seem like one of those characters that's actually good, but that first turn rank up is like so good for this fight. And like her cards just in general do very, very good. Like he's used a Danafor Liz ultimate before and like critted and did like insane damage. I think he is going to have his ult on this one, so we'll kind of see whether or not he crits. If he does crit, it's going to be really, really impressive. So, all right, he's going for the Danafor Liz card first turn. We do have ultimate. Normally, I don't get ultimate on this last turn, but I think we got really good Jericho draws this game. So, can we crit? No crit, but he still does over 200k damage just with Danafor Liz, which is pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure he has UR gear on his, which is really funny. I wish I would make UR gear for mine, but unfortunately, I just don't have the extra resources to really waste on her, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Normally, if you crit, like, you can kill a lot faster on that last turn. Like normally just her regular level 3 like attack card, not the bleed one, ends up wiping him pretty fast, but we got unlucky with no crits. But it is what it is, honestly. Like that's the normal raid. I got 2 gold boxes off that one, which is kind of crazy, like that RNG. But we're gonna come back really quick. I'm gonna take a short intermission. We're going to change up the teams and everything like that. We're gonna do a quick run with Thonar and see what the difference is, so be right back. All right, so we're back. Here's the teams that we've got going. Here's what I'm running. I'm using Jericho still. I do have Danafor Liz up front, so that way I can get level 2 cards from the very beginning. He is going to be running Danafor Liz and also Gother, so that way he can do the rank up first turn, because I'm going to cleanse the debuff with Zenari. Just so you know, the only way to do the 3-turn is to have Zeneri on the team, so that way you can actually cleanse the debuffs and everything like that. And because I'm running Thonar, or because I'm running Zeneri, I have to be the one that's running Thonar, so that way we all get the buff from Thonar's passive, because I'm the one that's cleansing. So be aware that if you're running Thonar and you're trying to do the 3-turn, you need to run Zeneri with Thonar as well, so that way it all coincides together. So this is my team. He is going to be running Festival Zeldris as his main DPS, which I know sounds pretty funny, but he actually does really, really well in this fight. He's going to be running the Gother for rank up, Danafor Liz for the first turn rank up, and then he's got Death Pierce in the back to help with some damage. I've got Crit Chance Food on just to kind of help, you know, Jericho hit a little bit harder, hopefully. But yeah, let's take this thing on. So far, we've done a couple of like test runs and everything like that, and we messed around with Zaratros and stuff like that, and it was probably gonna work if we timed it all better and had a little bit better of an understanding on what cards we're gonna kill and everything like that. So we ended up wasting a couple of extra cards, but it is what it is. You know, we're in the initial testing phase pretty much. So I'm going to cleanse first turn. He is going to rank up. I think we are going to use probably this card right here, and then I think I'm just gonna use the other Danafor Liz card, and we should be good to go, because his Danafor Liz hits really, really hard. We're using all level 3 cards right here, and I want to keep my Jericho Bleed in hand, so that way I can put a debuff on, so I can get extra use out of my crit card. So there we go. There's easy first turn. I even wasted a card, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we've got the buffs on and everything, so you can see it's already working out pretty good. You know, it only took 3 Danafor Liz cards to take out first turn, so we're gonna get our Danafor Liz ult pretty easily in this turn. So let's go for, I think, okay, he's gonna use a Zeldris card. I think if he uses another Zeldris card, maybe we might be able to kill here. Let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, he's wanting me to go for the Jericho kill, so let's go ahead and do that. And then I think we're going to waste this card because we don't really need it. And then he's got last card right here, so he's gonna waste a ranged card as well. So quick little poke in right there. Zeldris gets really nice damage in really quickly. I'm kind of hoping that I crit here. All right, no crit, but I still end up killing. That's fine. Worked out pretty good. And then moving into last phase, I'll have Danafor Liz's ult. Maybe if I can pull another Jerry card, which he's got a gold Zeldris card still in hand, which should end up doing very good damage. So we're gonna pop that. Probably throw this in and then do a quick slash, and then this should be pretty much good to go. So that is a gold card, and he's doing 400k damage, which is hilarious. Like, it's so interesting that Zeldris is actually like really good at this. So easy damage in right there. That Jerry card actually did not a whole lot, so luckily Danafor Liz clutches this. Oh, that was his Danafor Liz. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his is 6/6 too, so we are all good there. So that was a pretty easy run. That was 3 turns. I'm gonna keep messing around with it, see if we can make sure that it's like really consistent and everything like that. I may have to end up upgrading some of my characters and everything like that, just to really make sure that I can get some extra damage and stuff in, so that way we can really secure these turns. But honestly, I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, that wasn't like a perfect run or anything either. So, I mean, the better you can get it going, you know, obviously, like, the easier it's going to be, the more consistent it is, the faster it gets. So far, Thonar, pretty solid. I mean, she's a backline character. She's not going to be the one doing the damage or anything like that, but I think she works out pretty good. She's very interesting, so if you want to use her and you have Zeneri for hell runs, if you're running anything lower than hell, you don't really need her. You can obviously use somebody else to cleanse, like I think, you know, Blue King should work, or maybe another character. It just depends on what you're doing. So yeah, just kind of look at what your situation is and kind of mess around with it. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of experimenting to kind of get your team correct, but I don't know, it's honestly pretty impressive. So that's pretty much it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video.